You're listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. You are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, it's another great week here in the Burleson-Johnson County area. We have the Marine Longhorn Detachment. Was it 1069?
1069.
All right. We've met Jack many a time, so we're going to talk more about the golf tournament coming up, about raising some money. We also have some guests. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves?
I am Louis Cepeda, and I'm, again, part of the Marine Corps League.
Now, were you here last time?
I was. I wasn't, but I met you at the networking.
That's
night.
where yes, good. And then we have these aren't sisters, but they look like it. They're from Cook's Children, so y'all introduce yourselves.
I'm Wendy Eubank. I'm the community partner fundraising coordinator for Cook Children's, and I'm their right-hand man.
Is that right? And
for today.
You might just have to switch it back and forth, you know.
And I am Natalie Houghton, and I'm the Director of National and Regional Partnerships at Cook Children's Health Foundation, and I get the wonderful privilege of working with Wendy as well as these gentlemen here.
Yeah, and they called each other this morning and said, "What jacket are you wearing?"
I know, we thought it would look good.
You know, but they said they did the same thing. They said, "What shirt are you wearing?" You know, so it's all good, you know. Anyway, and I wore my camo shirt because I thought it made me look tougher, but not really. Anyway, we're going to talk about this charity golf tournament and other things that the Marine Detachment does. And we're going to talk about what y'all do with the Cook's Children, because that's a institution around here. I don't know anybody that hasn't dealt with Cook's Children in one way or the other. I took my daughter there a couple of times when she was younger, when she had issues, you know, health issues and such as that. Fortunately, they were solvable, treatable. But anyway, so it's a great thing. Also, we got a couple of reminders tomorrow night. There's a big property tax justice meeting I'm going to refer to. So let's go run through the ads and see what we got. All right. First of all, Our Place with Otto. Everybody's going to be into Our Place. I mean, Jack and I have gone to Our Place. He's a local celebrity around here.
Great food.
You know, if it's there, if it's crowded, I say I'm with Jack Mattson. Oh, and they put a special table out like that scene in Goodfellas. Is that how it works? Nah, I don't know.
It's great stuff. Good stuff. Great
It
stuff.
is. And also Gina's Pizza. I'll be there tonight with a couple of our B&I buddies. Jeff and Greg will be there. I have to get out of the house tonight. I get the boot about every one Monday a month for my wife's ladies' prayer meeting. And they don't want me to hear what they're praying about because they're probably praying about their husbands. Yeah, you know, so
Sometimes that's needed.
it's always needed, I can tell you. And then you have great pizza, and the soccer will be on and all this other stuff. And I don't know if y'all been following the soccer very much. You have?
Yes.
Yeah. I've gotten to enjoy soccer a lot more over the years because, first of all, it's in the afternoon. You know, on Tuesday afternoon, there's English Premier League or something that's great. Plus, I've come to appreciate the athleticism quite a bit. I mean, that's pretty good, and they must be physically fit too. So it's really been kind of fun. Anyway, Gina's going to have it all on TV. His Ranger games on when they're playing, if they're worth watching. All right, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, second of all, another friend of Jack and mine, and that's John Williams at Old Pro Roofing, 817-734-2756. And it's a great company to deal with, you know, and they are local folks. I mean, there's a lot of roofers out there. Burleson has several good ones, and Old Pro is one of the best. And you want to deal with local folks. You don't want to deal with somebody calls you on the phone and says, "Let me come into your house and check it out." No, thank you. So 817-734-2756, and they'll come tell you the truth about your roof. Also, our buddy Jeff at the Wethington Agency, Jeff Kelly. Did you know, you weren't there at the last B&I meeting, but he's now going to be our new president starting in October.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, good.
Yeah, so, you know, I feel like I dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. But anyway, Jeff is going to be the new B&I president, so he'll be going door to door trying to get clients. Well, maybe not. 817-781-0546 or Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. Like I said, he's with the Wethington Agency, again, local folks. And my buddy Rod Lewis at the Burleson News Express. I had him on, what day is it? The 16th? Yeah, I had him on last week. And he's going to do several articles. I'm now on his subscription list, and I haven't been by the mailbox yet, but it's good local stories. And what I like about it is about 54 places that you could pick up this is a printed copy. Y'all probably don't remember the Burleson Star. Y'all from the Burleson area?
I am not,
Are you from?
but Wendy is.
I have been here for about 20 years.
Okay, so you remember the Burleson Star.
Yes.
All right, and this is kind of trying to take its place, and it's doing a good job. And they also would be a good story for you, if you're trying to promote what y'all do at Cook's and the services, because he's not writing articles that are, shall we say, hot topics or whatever else. This is local news, what's going on in our community. So pick up a copy. I get one at Daydream Coffee. That's the most convenient place for me. Also, one more. Our friends at True Climate, Will Cobb and his sister Emily Cobb, say it right, 682-244-2019. Have your air conditioner inspected before it gets too hot. It's going to be hot this week, and you don't want it to go out next week and then find out, you got a real problem. They also have a $99 a year program that'll help you get discounts and routine checks and things of that nature. So call them at 682-244-2019, and they'll set you up. Lastly, this is a meeting for tomorrow night. I've had Kim Jones on twice now for the Property Tax Justice Foundation. And boy, the numbers on that show really picked up. They're big numbers for me. And they're doing a free homeowners property tax workshop. And they're doing it over on Cleburne at 1511 West Henderson Street. And it helps you to know the issues that are involved with the evaluations of your home. It's not really so much a organization or a meeting that's proposing into property taxes. That's another conversation. What it is, her focus is that the means of evaluating your home has significant issues with it, and you may want to know what is in your rights. The deadline for applying for protesting your property taxes is coming very fast, and so it's over in Cleburne. She's already posted on there, a nonprofit organization, and basically it's how to not just protest your evaluations, but how you can get adjustments for it. Because the way they do evaluations is got some issues. She's made it pretty clear. And the last show she was on, which was, I think it was last week, she basically outlined the steps of how you can protest your evaluations. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about. Nice crowded scene. I like that. It makes me feel important. All right. Also, the two deadlines she's putting up here, July 2nd, 8th, and 25th. So Kim is watching. How you doing? All right. Now, Jack, you've been doing this for a little while now with the Marines, and I've learned one thing: never say former Marine. All right, you always say former active duty Marine. That's a big difference. And if you say ex-Marine, he'll leap across the table. All right, so just I'm giving you
No
one,
taping.
ladies.
Thank you.
All right. Once a Marine, always a Marine. It's the mafia should be quite as loyal. And so but tell me what's this event about?
Well, several years ago, about 14 years ago, the Marine Corps League here in Crowley started a golf tournament, and we were just trying to help out some people as much as we could. And about 8 years ago, we added a charity to our activities, and it started to grow. Mm-hmm. And we were able to help a lot of kids in the process. It was a program called Wheelchairs for Kids, mm-hmm. and when a family has a child that has a disability that they really can't afford, they need a chair, they need to widen the doors, they need a rampway in and out of the house, and a lift in and out of the bathtub and under the toilet, and those things. And those are very expensive, so they can't afford it. They go to Medicare. Mm-hmm. Medicare takes care of it.
Medicare or Medicaid? Are we talking about I thought this wheelchair is for a child.
Yeah.
Okay, is it Medicare or Medicaid that handles this?
It's Medicare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I just get confused.
And what happens is they don't come back for 5 years. So here's a 7-year-old or a 4-year-old child who's in a chair, and about 2 years later, he or she grows out of the chair, and now the chair does more damage than good. They literally have scoliosis and respiratory problems, rubbings, boils, you name it, the problems that they encounter. So Wheelchairs for Kids finds these children, and they replace the old chair with a new chair so that the child can make it for the rest of that 5-year window. And we have been supporting them for about the last 7 or 8 years. I think our total distribution to them has been over $79,000. And last year it was $20,000 that we gave to them. But this year we are really excited because we want to expand our efforts. The benevolence of this community is phenomenal.
It is.
It is just phenomenal. People want to help children, and Cook Children's does just that. So we are excited to be able to add to our portfolio of charities for this golf tournament to include Cook Children's. And let me just kind of turn that over to our senior vice and junior vice and let him talk about what we're doing.
So again, we've been doing this tournament for 14 years now, but we're transitioning in a way that we're focusing on our community here. And what other organization other than Cook? There's nothing bigger than Cook's Children.
Like I said, it's an institution. I mean, I took my daughter there a couple times for health issues, which are been like well treated and well resolved, and Cook's is like an icon in this area of the state, practically, if not nationally. So go ahead.
So I'm not even from the area. I retired. Eventually, I moved here just because of the community, and as Marines, the will to serve never stops, even though we hang up the uniform. And whether we served 4 years or 24 years, it's doing good into the community. And the Marine Corps trained us to accomplish a mission, and then now that we transition out of the Marine Corps, we are taking that training into the communities and raising these funds, especially for an area of our community which is children that really need the help when they do get ill. And partnering with Cook Children's is just a phenomenal thing. Our training as tacticians on the battlefield, we just use it and formulate it to do good in our communities. And again, there's no other organization, no other foundation than Cook's Children's. I mean, just the ability for them to do God's work is just amazing. And it's really helping out our next generation of leaderships, because that's who's going to be leading our country here in the next 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
So
That's a frightening thought, isn't it? You see some of these young people.
But it's all about the goodwill that they do. And
they do great stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, why don't y'all talk about some of these great things y'all are doing?
Absolutely. Well, I will say, too, we are so excited that you have selected us to be one of the beneficiaries of this golf tournament. Burleson and Johnson County, they've supported Cook Children's for years. I know even under our, we are a member of Children's Miracle Network. And so, for instance, whenever people go to Walmart right now, and if they round up or if they give $1, 100% of that comes back to Cook Children's. And Burleson has always been one of those cities that really has stepped up to the plate and helped us out. But I will tell you that each year, we provide over $2 million in community, $200 million
That's a lot of
dollars in community benefit back to the community, but also too, $100 million in charity care and unreimbursed expenses from insurance shortfalls or Medicaid shortfalls. That's how much we're also seeing. So whenever the community rallies around and then they decide to give back, it helps with that, or it helps provide. You were just talking about wheelchairs, and you are so right. So many people, when they think about kids and providing a wheelchair, they forget sometimes that maybe there's growth that happens. And now kids, we all know we have them. They're growing bigger and stronger than they have ever before. So having those different services for them, going into the homes, making sure their home is safe, taking care of that child, but then also, too, generosity and what you all are doing, that helps us be at the forefront of what's happening in pediatric healthcare today. You help us provide research. You help us provide new and innovative treatments to help all of the kids and the young adults that we're serving. And that's where the community really helps us take something that might happen 5 years from now and happen right now. And so a lot of times when one of our friends, we say that Cook Children's is kind of a hidden gem. I don't think we're as hidden anymore. I think a lot of people know about us, but we're so grateful to have this institution in our backyard, and so grateful for partners like you, partners like the listeners that are on right now. We just appreciate you all a lot.
Well, hopefully this will get some coverage because most of the people that listen to the show do it on their time, not real time. So over the next 3 or 4 days, hopefully it'll kind of filter out there a little bit. That's my hope anyway. And you do what for them?
So I am the community partner events coordinator.
Right.
So with the military 1069 here in Crowley, the golf tournament that they spoke about, I am their right-hand man is really what I like to say. So I help them with a little bit of the planning, the content, really showing the partnership between Cook Children's and then the golf tournament that will benefit us in the end.
Cook's is a nonprofit, is it not? And
Yes.
So you're constantly having to raise money and all this, and it's I can understand it much better now than I used to. And I've been doing the show nearly 7 years, and I've gotten to know these nonprofits around here, and it's a 24/7 job. And y'all are talking about the kind of money you're talking about. That's some significant donations and whatnot. Who are your biggest donors? Not name names, but I mean generally who gives the most? Individuals, organizations, whatnot.
Well, you do have a fluctuation of that. Obviously, there are quite a few foundations here in Tarrant County, as well as and beyond. Because whenever you look at Cook Children's, it's not just the main hospital in Fort Worth, or excuse me, our medical center in Fort Worth. We also have one in Prosper. We have specialty clinics in the Panhandle, out in West Texas, because we want to go and provide services where our patients are. So our referral area is actually larger than the size of New Mexico that we serve.
For sure.
But I will say there are quite a few family foundations that are here locally, as well as out in West Texas and beyond, that give to us. Annually, our Children's Miracle Network partners, they actually last year donated $4 million, and those are all of those different point of sale. It's the community.
Right.
It's you guys that are donating that whenever it all comes together. We also have a wonderful group named Joel Charity that supports us every year, and their sole purpose is to support Cook Children. So, and also too, a lot of individuals and a lot of individual families. So it's really just a mixture of people that are out there.
How did y'all hook up with these guys? That's your job.
And I will, to piggyback on Natalie, with that said, every dollar really does count. I have anywhere from a golf tournament, a clay shoot that typically would raise more dollars than my little friends that was a patient here at Cook Children's, and they're doing a lemonade stand. So really, and again, I like to, I want the community to feel like we're family. We really are one big community that we're just helping each other. So I did want to.
Well, and I've talked to the nonprofits for, like I said, nearly 7 years, and they'll say that the monthly donors that are given like $15 to $25 make all the difference. When you talk, Jack and I have a friend at Next Step Women's Center, and Summer talks about this all the time. That $25 a month routine giving helps them make budgets and whatnot. And yeah, sure, if they want to drop $1,000 on, they'll be glad to take it. But I think one thing I've learned is that about giving and all this is that if you let the big dollar numbers intimidate you from giving, you're not helping them out. All right, you say, well, this $50 a month, is it going to make any difference? It makes all the difference to them. All right. Do you all have like a monthly giving kind of program? Like a recurring charge program and that.
Yeah,
kind of
we
thing?
Absolutely do. It's actually called our Miracle Makers, and that's what is also wonderful about a lot of these community programs. Whether it's the golf tournament that we're talking about here today, whether it's monthly giving, families do want to give back, but they need to be able to do it in a way that's comfortable for them and an amount that they can handle and what's comfortable for them.
Sure.
So whether it's $1 at a register, whether it's $5 a month, whether it's $20 a month. Absolutely. And a lot of those funds, those are funds we rely on. They help provide a lot of the extra services. So at Cook Children's, we're really focused on family-centered care. And then a lot of our child life services, which are really those services that help kids still have those wonderful childhood experiences while they're in the hospital, whether it's birthday parties, whether it's going and having I used to say, their Bieber or, Britney Spears moment, but I don't think that's really maybe Taylor Swift. We'll just have her. Their Taylor Swift moment in their recording studio, or even do something like this in our broadcast studio. Those services are all funded by donors, by the generosity of our community, even our dogs. I don't know if you knew. Did you know that we have dogs?
Oh, yeah.
At Cook?
When I was
Yes.
there, when my daughter was there, it was not a life-threatening situation. I don't overstate it, but it was something that we couldn't deal with at home, right? And she noticed the dogs right away. And yeah, I've seen the commercials, but that's not it. Where I saw them, I said, those care dogs. And when my mom was in the hospital over in Dallas, she was over UT Southwestern. They brought in, I don't know, care dogs, I guess. I don't know what you call them, but they're...
Well, we call them facility dogs, but yes,
yeah.
something like that. But that's the thing is whatever, even if somebody goes, well, my $1 is not going to make a difference, or my $5 or $20. When you pull all of those together and you combine them, it just makes such a huge impact.
Well, that's why I always refer to the scriptural reference of the widow's mites. When she threw in those 2 pennies, Jesus said that she gave more than all these other hot shots. And so, big donations are great, and I'm not going to discourage that, certainly, but I just don't want people out there to be discouraged from giving smaller amounts, because it does all add up. And it's not just tax deductible and all this other stuff. It's also jewels in your crown, as they say, right, Jack?
It is.
You've been uncharacteristically quiet.
I think kind of answer your question is, how did we get involved with Cook Children's? I think there are 4 or 5 of us who have had our children in Cook Children's. My grandson was just in there 2 weeks ago having corrective surgery on his left leg. I just could not believe the care that was given to him while he was in there. It's just amazing.
And they've been around here in Fort Worth for at least as long as I've been around here in Fort Worth area. So they're well known, certainly. So y'all really hooked up with a big time organization. Now let's talk about the golf tournament itself. When, where, how can it deliver? Do you have any kind of media that we can share with that?
So the golf tournament this year is going to be on July 10th. It's going to be in Southern Oaks, there in Burleson. And if anybody knows anything about Southern Oaks, it's actually a Champions League course.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Huh?
So but it's a great course. And the thing about it is that, again, we're doing a transition by bringing in Cook's Children. We're modernizing the course that we're at. But at the same time, one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, that we want it to be reciprocal with our sponsors, right? Again, we're doing such great work, and all of those that are supporting us and supporting Cook Children's, we want it to be reciprocal. So now what we're doing, since we teamed up with Cook Children's, all those sponsors, they get that notoriety with what Cook Children has in their platform. So instead of going to 6,000-7,000 people within our networks, within our social media networks, now our sponsors who are supporting financially to do this, they're actually getting inside the same networks that Cook Children has. So now we're at 40,000 personnel that they get into, because out of the kindness of their heart and because of the benevolence, well, we're helping them grow their businesses because they're supporting Cook Children.
Doing well and doing good is a good thing to combine.
Absolutely. And again, I say it all the time. I'm a big man of faith, and this is God's work. But at the same time, we're not able to do this as the Marine Corps League without our sponsors. But then now our sponsors they're getting something that's reciprocal and tangible out of it.
Who are some of the big sponsors?
So go ahead, Jack.
You can throw out all the names you want.
Oh, I didn't know, so I wanted to be careful. So,
But no, I think it's important that the community knows. It isn't just, I deal with these people a lot about sponsoring things and whatever else, and they're not doing it strictly for the publicity. They're doing it because they want to do good to the community. Yeah, hopefully it'll return to them in business and all that, and that's all good. But they're not doing this strictly for economic reasons.
Correct.
They're doing it because they want to give back to the community.
100%.
You know,
What I think is really important is that the businesses are looking at things that they can participate in a benevolent program. There's so many business owners that have a passion for helping people. They're in the business of hiring hundreds and hundreds of people. Those people are now using that job to provide for their families. And that is a benevolent part on their part, as far as that, the owner of the company is concerned, and the board of directors. So when we approach them and say, listen, we want to add to this benevolence program of yours to include children who are in serious need of help, the floodgates just open up. I mean, people just want to be involved.
and a lot of them will do it anonymously, which is always, I understand the motivation for that, because they're not looking for the applause of human beings, whatever else. But as far as who's sponsoring this now, who are some of the big sponsors of this golf tournament?
Well, one of our biggest sponsors is Plastic Formation or Forming Incorporated.
Where?
Plastic Forming Incorporated
Okay.
is Jay Stevenson. Jay Stevenson is the son of the gentleman we have named this golf tournament for.
Yeah, I remember the last time y'all were here
Corporal
last year.
Les Stevenson is who we're honoring the golf tournament in name of, and then his son has been a tremendous supporter. Art Brooks is another
State
great,
Farm
sponsor.
Oh yeah, we see Art in our B&I strolling through like a big shot. Yeah.
His dad was in the Marine Corps and was in Iwo Jima.
Oh my.
And he was a member of our detachment, and we now have a putting green challenge in honor of his dad. So we're really excited about him.
Well, his dad earned his pay, didn't he?
He did.
At Iwo Jima.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And United Cooperative Services
Oh yeah.
has been very, very helpful also, and for several years in a row now. So we're excited about the.
You have smaller
folks that are
sponsors,
helping.
right? Yeah.
We do. We've also have Lone Star Masonry has been in there, and it's ironic that it's people that you wouldn't expect that actually reach out. I had a young lady reach out to me last week. Her name's Mackenzie, and she's a hairstylist, and she's like, "Hey, I saw this. How can I help?" And she's young. She just started, and then so there's several ways people can help out. And what she's thinking about doing now, she's actually going to be donating some of her services.
Sure.
Part of the silent auctions, but it's one of those things. It's anybody and everybody that can go out there and actually support this effort. And it's amazing how everyone's goodwill can support such great efforts at such a large footprint out here in Texas in general.
Well, do you get some of these connections because either they were in the Marines, active duty Marines, or their families were?
Yep.
You get some of that connection, I'll bet.
A lot of it from the Marine Corps side of the house is based on tradition.
Right.
It's generations and generations of family members that joined the Marine Corps because of their forefathers in their own families. So it's actually it's pretty good. But then we've got Family Toyota of Burleson. They're donating a car for a hole-in-one sponsor. I mean, so you go out there, and if you hit a hole-in-one, you get a car.
Of course, it's on a par 5, so good luck. But so.
But then we like Art Brooks. It's a putting challenge, and if you make the challenge, you win $5,000. So there's a lot that we're doing. Again, there's this huge transition that we're trying to do to modernize, to help not only Cook Children's and the league, but also the golfers. We want the golfers to come in, have a phenomenal time.
Oh, they
and
will.
They and just to enjoy the day out there on the course. But when they walk away, and they're on their way home, they're like, man, this is a great cause. This is a great course, and we want to do it again next year. We want them to be repeat golfers. We want the sponsors, right? Because we want it reciprocal for everyone. It's not just give us money.
Right.
You're going to get some return on your investment.
Well,
right?
you know, it's it's a pretty good deal. You go have a round of golf and you feel good about it instead of worrying about the things you should be doing. I don't know.
You know, we also have a child who will receive a new chair. So he or she comes. We reel that person in the old rickety chair, take him out of that chair, put him into a brand new chair, and of course the family is there, and there's not a dry eye in house.
Yeah, those Marines all get choked up today.
Yep.
And we actually have one of those little children who has been with us now for the 4th year. We've made him an honorary Marine. His name is Sutton, and he will be there again this year.
Wow.
So we're really excited. And of course, that's another draw to it. Also, be able to see something like that, you know, at the during the lunchtime.
I would like to see that. See all you Marines all clenched up, choked up. I mean, that you know, that's interesting. You get that way with the Toys for Tots too. I've seen you, Jack.
Yeah.
You know, you're just a big teddy bear. We know it. You know, I bet also the Cooks connection is a draw, right? I mean, because how many people in this region has had, like my experience, you know, with like I mentioned with my daughter, you know, as a patient there. I mean, I bet half this county could have some sort of connection of using Cook's services.
Well, I mean, I think you've already talked about a little bit of the connection, but, you know, I've been doing this this is my 5th year in this role, and everyone you meet, there's some sort of connection to Cook Children's. Even so, myself, I've been on both ends. I had a child who had leukemia and was treated about 15 years ago. She'll be a freshman in college this year.
Where's she going?
What's that?
Where's she going?
She's going to Oklahoma State.
Oh.
Pokes.
Yeah,
It's new verbiage for me, but I'm
no. But you know, I had a lot of students that both at Burles High School, and I taught a couple of years at a private school, and Oklahoma State's a big draw. So you'll like it. Then she'll come back rather, and she'll be all orange and black and you know doing the guns. All right, so
yes, but so there's definitely connections, and as Natalie was saying, you know, these dollars really allow us to say yes when otherwise we may not be able to. So
but that's a hard conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, so you know that's probably what gets you up in the morning, I'd imagine, because the more successful y'all are, the more yeses you'll get, and that must be pretty fulfilling. How did y'all get involved in this? I mean, it's not something that, you know, it isn't like you just fill out an Indeed thing or whatever, or one ad in the paper. You must have been drawn to it.
Well, that's true. I will say that I had experiences with raising money for Cook Children's when I worked for a credit union years ago. And when my husband and I were moving back to the Fort Worth area, Cook Children's was one of the first places I looked.
You know, I was going to bring this off the air, but I'll go ahead now. I had 3 Houghton boys in class.
No relation.
Okay.
No relation.
All right.
We're mostly a little bit further west.
All right, fine. But
Or at least that's what I know about his side of the family.
All 3 of these are very fine young men.
Well, that's great.
You know,
I'm
they
glad
really
they're
were.
representing the last name well.
Yeah, they are very much so. But I saw that and said, surely. You
never know.
You never know.
never
Oh,
know.
yeah. People ask me about my last name, which is not that common. And when they see it with somebody else, they assume that we're related, but most
Right.
are not. Anyway, back to y'all.
Oh, no, you're just fine. I love those. We have to find those small world connections, right? And so I've actually, whenever we moved back and I looked at Cook Children's and I saw this opening in the foundation and I knew about the program that this particular position was a part of, I just had to really try and throw my hat in the ring, put my best foot forward. And now, coming up at the beginning of July, it'll be 17 years.
17, very
since
good
I've
for
been
you.
there. And during those 17 years, probably before I hit the 10-year mark, I was very fortunate to meet this lovely lady, Wendy, and her child that she spoke of, as well as her family, because they were some of our patient ambassadors that spoke on our annual radiothon. So whenever we had this opening come up in my department, Wendy put her name in the hat, and I was like, absolutely, this is the perfect person for this. But at the same time, I've had a few different jobs, but when you get up in the morning and you know that what you're going to do really, truly does make an impact in the community, and it impacts people that you may never meet. You may never
Exactly.
meet one of them, and even with what you all are doing here today, what you're doing by allowing us to be on this podcast, it's going to make a huge impact. And you might never meet those that are blessed by your generosity, but know that they feel it inside of Cook Children's.
Well, you say allow on the show. It's this is my honor because when I started this show 7 years ago, it was at a different motivation. I guess I was going to talk about current events. I'm an old history teacher and whatever else. I'm going to talk about what's going on in the world, and it just has evolved over to this, and this is much better. This is God's plan. I mean, it's easier because I feel like when I come do these kind of shows, doing some good. I can rant about Trump or whoever on my own time. So, or the latest Democrat outrage. Who knows? It's a waste. I could do that later, but I really feel like these shows make a difference. And I'll never know. You're right. If somebody hears this, I hope they share it and they pass it on. But then I get to meet guys like Jack, all right, and his Marine Corps detachment. All right, and all these gentlemen I've met, and one time you had a young lady on. Mm-hmm. I was joking about her being your homecoming queen
Holly.
or something. Yeah, right.
Holly.
Yeah. I always wondered that about. I was going to ask her if she was going to be on the show that next time she's on. Let's just say the Marines have a reputation for being very frank in their conversation and assessment. How does a young lady navigate that?
They're the
She does
same
very well.
exact way.
She brings it. Huh?
Holly is a spitfire.
Yeah.
So it's funny. We all joke about it and things of that nature. It's a very small sector of the Marine Corps, but they carry their weight.
I bet they do. Well, I'm sure
everyone else.
I'm sure they're very good Marines. I'm just thinking, do you really say those things in front of the women? But I guess they do. Or Jack here, Church of Christ elder type here. Jack, I'm saying, okay, guys, please get up. It's time to get up. Is that how it worked?
I don't remember it that way when I was in boot camp. I don't think they didn't say, come on, get up. It was more like, get out of the rack.
Or with a few other expertism, that's fine.
So the funny thing about the Marine Corps is that, and nothing against any other service, because we all have our specific missions, right? But in the Marine Corps in general, they're extremely professional in the sense that once we're around just regular Marines, we're going to be Marines, right? But once we're doing something, or just like this, we're in public, we're doing this podcast, or we're out there in our communities, we can turn it on, we can turn it off, because we definitely don't want to put a bad light out there for the Marine Corps.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You guys represent it well.
Right.
What I noticed, and I've said this to Jack before, is that when I was teaching school, I'd see the young men in particular, that I thought, boy, this boy's going to have a hard life if he didn't straighten up, and he's got very little going for him, and he's just going to drift through life. And then I find out they join one of the services, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. And then I see them 3 years later, and they come back because they bring the kids back onto campus to recruit.
Yep.
And this is not the same young man I saw 3 years ago.
Oh, there's a huge there's a huge transformation there.
I mean, but I'd see the Marine that went in, and this kid with long hair and underweight or whatever, and he comes back with 20 pounds of meat on him, and he's look you in the eye and shake your hand like a man instead of drifting around like he was. I've told Jack about my father, who was honorably discharged as a captain in the Army, and what it did for him, for a small boy in Oklahoma that had very few other options.
Yeah.
And now, God bless me, he's in that cemetery over in Dallas. Yeah, and so it's a great thing. And I tell you what, if you ever been to one of those ceremonies, I bet y'all have. But if you ever been to a ceremony at that graveyard, and they have, my dad, the Army, they had some officers there, and they presented the flag to my mother. If that don't clutch you, nothing will. I mean, I don't care how tough you are, it gets you. Because, so.
Taps will pull on those heartstrings.
I had to make a big transition in my life. My dad was a Navy captain when he retired after 31 years. So I was a Navy brat. And when I went into the Marine Corps, it was not well received.
Well, I got it. But no, my dad was kind of drifting in Oklahoma, and my aunt got him, pulled him out of Oklahoma, took him to Abilene, joined the ROTC, and so much of what our family has benefited from, my sister and I, comes from my dad's military background. And I don't just mean the USAA credit card. I mean the skills, the attitudes, the discipline, the habits that he brought. I mean, we didn't grow up in like a home at 6 o'clock they played Reveille and all this other stuff, but it was, you could tell that there was some military influence by the expectations that were put on my sister and I and whatnot. So it's a blessing. Anyway, ladies, we kind of digressed.
I can tell you on my end, they've been a pleasure to work with. No one's ever late. Everyone's on time.
You know, well, I heard that if you're not early, you're late. Right? Is that how it works? You know, if you're, that kind of thing. Yeah. But back to cooks, I want to kind of finish this up because how can one donate? Do you have like a website and all this, or a particular one? If you tell it to Josh, he could whip it up. He's a genius over there. Ain't that right?
I try my best.
Yeah. Well, he's looking forward to the 4th of July so he can work on his tan some more.
Well, that's a good thing, but you need to wear sunscreen. You need to make sure you do that.
Nah.
But yes, everyone can give. If you go to cookchildrenspromise.org, I just want to remind everybody, because obviously being in the community a lot, we hear cooks and we get used to that. There's no S on the cook. It's cookchildrenspromise.org. And there are many different ways that you can find there. If you just want to give a gift, you can do that online. You can also make a monthly gift like you were talking about earlier. Or if you want to participate in any of the fundraisers that we have going on throughout the year, or somebody might be inspired by hearing what this group is doing today and they want to do their own event to benefit Cook Children's, and then they can fill that out and get to work with Wendy as well.
You know, here's just an off the top kind of suggestion, I guess. When Burleson got Alley Cats, they have made themselves available for these kind of things. And so that may be somebody to talk to, you know, because I know that they have done that for others. I don't know if, I don't know what the process is and all this. I have met their management a couple of times. They're nice gentlemen, and they want to be part of the community. So we didn't have that available to us 2 years ago. Okay, so is it cookchildrenmiracle.org?
It's cookchildrenspromise.org.
Promise.org. Oh, see, there it is.
There it is.
All right, and so you can meet your team. Are you on this?
We are.
All right, let's meet the team. All right. Let's see the pictures. Ah, yes. Come on. And there's all your friends there.
Yes, all of our friends.
All right. Keep on going. It's not we got a bunch of y'all.
We do. A lot of us are in the upper ends of the alphabet.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right.
that's one.
All right. Wendy is where?
Wendy was up.
Wendy
He
was
passed
past
it.
it. There you go. All right. Anyway, but they, like most of the nonprofits, they have like a button and hit give.
Yes, at the top it says make a donation, give monthly. But then also, too, there are different things on ways to give if there's a specific way you want to give, or events. Also, too, if there's ever a milestone, say if you're having a birthday coming up and you would rather have people make donations to Cook Children's instead of receiving birthday presents, or even some people have done it with graduations, with weddings. We have a program called Party with Purpose. You could do that there as well. And I will say, we know we have a lot of young folks out there in high school that are also looking to do different things and give back in different ways. And Wendy's your contact for that as well.
You talk about like for service hours and things like that?
Well, it's service hour, but more of a lot of times there'll be those different organizations at the school, like the Kiwanis Club or the Key Club or the Z Club or the Lions, and then they'll do different fundraisers on campus to benefit other organizations. That's another thing that Wendy can help out with. We've also had elementary schools that just did change drives, and then they would have a competition within their classes of different things going on. So sometimes they have those ideas, or we've even seen it to where a teacher had a project to where they had to do some type of philanthropic project for a grade. And again, that's something that Wendy can help with too.
Well, that sounds like a good deal. Now, one thing I neglected to ask you about y'all's tournament. How does one join the tournament? How, like a golfer, or is it per team or individual? What's that? How much is that, and how could they get registered?
So the cost per golfer is going to be $125. Typically, they come in foursomes, so it's a $500 cost to come in. we get the teams together. We are using a site called Eventbrite, so you can register that way. You can go in there, you can pay it, you can pay by check, because there's costs of doing business there.
Sure.
But but at the same time, they can call me directly, or they can, just email us at info at Marine Corps League, Marine Corps Detachment 1069. So there's you can go do that through the website. There's just several ways to get connected and to register as well.
Do you have your own website?
We do.
What-
It is.
Get back on the computer there, Josh.
It's mcllonghorn.org.
mcllonghorn.org. That's easier than theirs. So. Yeah. So, but
And that just stands for Marine Corps League Longhorn.
yeah.
.org.
One other question. Y'all do other things for veterans and
go.
such. All right. I'm going to ask you about that in a minute. It's not just the charities y'all do. And y'all just don't get together for coffee and donuts. You also help out other veterans, don't you?
We do. We have typically on a quarterly basis, we go see veterans in specific hospitals in the local areas. Unfortunately, somewhat they don't get the visitations what we would like, so we go out there and just show them love.
Well, I bring this up because when I was driving here on the corner of one of the streets, 1187 and 35, taking the exit, there's a guy on the road or on the corner with a sign saying USMC, need help. And I thought, this is what Jack and his crew probably deals with. I mean, if you guys drove by there, I bet there'd be some conversation.
One of the challenges that we encounter is HIPAA. HIPAA restricts anyone in the management from divulging any information about their veterans, who they are, how they, where they are, and everything else. That wasn't always the case. Several years ago, we had a monthly visit that we did to a assisted care facility, and we were maybe 10 or 15 veterans, and we would go in there and provide them with saving gear and flags and all kinds of memorabilia based on their service.
Well, it struck me as I was driving here because there's a lot of veterans out on the street, and I know that y'all deal with that. I know our friends at the American Legion, Sanford Mason and his crew deal with that, and how he got there, I guess, is kind of immaterial after really, because what are you going to do? You want to help and all this such stuff. So y'all do other things besides just raise money. Y'all also provide comfort and care for those who serve their country, and that's a very noble thing to do. And we have the website here. Can they register to the golf tournament on this website?
They can.
Okay.
There is a link there.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's pretty easy. It's not sophisticated. We made it simple to where anyone can go in there. You can do it from your computer. You can do it from your phone. So it's just a great way of getting connected out there.
Well, I'm going to diverge just for a moment because I have a couple other nonprofit announcements, if you will, and then I'm going to let y'all finish off. But right now, there's a real need in our food pantries. We have 3 in this area. Crowley House of Hope, which is a block from here, and then Promises Community, which is on Renfro, and also a little up the road on Renfro is Harvest House, which is well known.
Harvest House, yeah.
Yeah. And summertime is big time business for them because the school lunch programs are not as active. I think Crowley and Burleson have like 1 or 2 schools in which they can provide lunch if you can get there and that kind of thing. And can't take it home with you either. It's not like you can load up on stuff and take it with you. So, I know the one at Prompts as well because it's attached to my church and I do some stuff with them, and they don't have to worry about what to do with their time. When I go visit them, I can only recall one time in which there were empty chairs in the waiting area. And a lot of it is because, we could read the paper and hear how great the economy's doing if you want to listen to that. But there are a lot of people that are caught, particularly the working people. That's what gets me. And that's probably what y'all deal with more than anything else because, the Medicaid doesn't cover them. And so y'all probably, a lot of this assistance you're giving, financial assistance, is probably going to people with jobs. And a lot of people don't realize that. they just assume it's all, destitute people. Well, if you're working check to check and you have a big car payment or a big car repair bill or a big medical bill or, a summertime the electricity bill comes really high, these institutions need y'all's help. So donate. Money's good, food's good. And you say, well, what kind of food? They'll tell you it's stuff that kids can make on their own. Sandwich makings like peanut butter and jelly. Jelly seems to be a real hard one to find for some reason. Also, the canned stuff like SpaghettiOs, and I love SpaghettiOs even now. 64 years old, and I'm still, I can eat SpaghettiOs all day. So, of course, I have, as one can tell. But anyway, that was my nonprofit. I'm going to let y'all finish off. We're going to let the ladies go last, Jen, or do you want to let Bill go first, Jack?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, well, okay. Go ahead, ladies. No, I was going to let ladies first, or I let them finish off the show. See whichever you.
Either way.
Either way.
Well, we're just so grateful that you all invited us and that you invited us to be on the show today and to tell you a little bit about what we do. I will say it's wonderful whenever you come to a community and you have members of the community that support so many different organizations and so many different things in need. Like you were saying, the food pantry, we understand that too. So just thank you for allowing us to be here. And like we said, if you ever have any questions, you can find myself or Wendy on our website, as she pointed out earlier. But again, we just want to say thank you to the greater Johnson County community. We actually have over 83,000 patient encounters annually. That was just last year, but annually, those are families and kids in need that are right here, and you support them like no other. So we are grateful that you have our backs. So thank you.
Man, Wendy, you're good. Yeah, amen. Okay, all right, and you, sir.
So the only thing that I say from the Marine Corps League detachment here, 1069, we do this out of service to our communities because we live here, we work here, we spend our money here. So we want to support these types of organizations here. And just right here, I would have never known as 83,000 just here in Johnson County. In Johnson County, it's huge. So that's why we're passionate for it. What we do here, it's in our backyard. So many of us benefit. Jack mentioned earlier, but there's about 16 of us that are pretty active in the league, and over half of us had family members there in Cook Children's. So it's something that has affected us, in our families. But can you imagine the amount of people just in our location here? Crawley, Burleson, Joshua, Cleburne. It's huge. So, we're proud that we're able to partner up, and hopefully we can go out there and do some great things.
You will. Take us home, Jack.
Amen.
Okay. Well, all right, fine. All right. Tomorrow I have a show at 10 o'clock earlier, even though Josh didn't know that, so he'll have to get up early. There's a young man that was on the show with the mayor and I, and he wants to be a podcaster, so I'm going to give him some time. We're going to talk. He's a different political perspective than mine in some cases, so we'll have a nice, interesting conversation. And he's a veteran himself from the Army, and he's a very fine young man. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow. Next week I have Rich Hooper on from 88.3 The Journey. Yeah. Hey. They're getting to their year end, their fiscal year end, and they need a little bit of help. So we're going to try to give it to them. And then after that, who knows? We may take a week off so Josh can, run around like a heathen or something. You ladies ought to come on the show without these guys sometime. It's always welcome. If you ever want to come like in the fall or something like that, I always have plenty of space. It's Monday and Tuesdays normally, but we can accommodate Thursdays.
We love it.
Okay, so you just Jack can give you my contact information, and y'all can come on, talk about cooks. Leave these guys in, I don't know. We'll be seeing Jack again, though, for Toys for Tots, probably, November or later?
Well, they're in the latter part of November and first part of December, we'll be doing the Toys for Tots program.
Go bring Mike Perdue with you?
Same place. Same place. The BISD has provided us with the facility to be able to do that. And we usually collect we take care of about 3,000 children every year.
Yeah. Oh, you okay, dear? No, that's quite all right. No. This is
Bad timing.
No. Believe me, I've done worse. But anyway, also I want to remind you that about the Property Tax Justice Foundation meeting tomorrow in Cleburne, and Kim has put on Property Tax Justice Foundation operates on a sliding scale to help seniors, veterans, and financially challenged homeowners. So Kim will talk about that. I'll probably have her. I think her on in early August again. So that's going to be interesting. Let's hope. Anyway, thank y'all, ladies, for what you do. Thanks for coming. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service that you continue to give to our country. That service never ends. Just it keeps on going, right?
Sir.
All righty. Jack, I'll see you Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't see you last Wednesday. You were doing okay?
I was sick.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, well, that's fine. But we'll see you this Wednesday. He's a big member of our little B&I group. All right. Thank you, Josh, for being so quick on the computer.
sir.
And we'll see you at 10 o'clock, remember? All right. You going to fit that in your busy schedule there, Playboy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, good. All right. And thank you all for everything. And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning.